So today we're at the No Fuss Intro Enduro with Keith Leinster of TerraVenture, and he's going to talk us through his Pipedream Moxie build, which isn't a typical build for what is advertised as an Enduro hardtail.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's a nice slack steel hardtail. You can see straight away because of the nice clean lines in the frame and the narrow tubes. But I was looking for a bike that would increase my confidence trail riding, allow me to participate in some of the more easier going enduro events, but also at the same time I want to be out in the hills, I want to be bike packing, I want to be doing long distance days. So I built it up with two options, so as we can run the plus size tyres and the 29er more trail cross country setup.
So looking through the components that you've got in the setup, let's start at the front and have a look at your wheel and rim choices through to your cockpit.
Okay, so the 40mm wide internal PMP rims that we have on here really flare the tyres up to increase the size. So we're actually using tyres that normally come out around 2.6, but on this big wide internal rim, they're coming up like the full plus 2.8. We're using a RockShox pike fork, which is set at 150mm travel. That's good because it's enough that I can get away with going the bikepacking and adventuring, and it's not overkill. But we built it up with the Magura MT Sport brake set, which is great because it operates quad piston at the front and dual at the back. And we used a Newman cockpit. So a Newman is a really nice brand. I met them guys that started the brand across at Eurobike a couple of years ago, and I was keen to sort of support them. So we got the cockpit out and we finished it off with a wolf tooth finishing kit, headset, axle, seat clamp and things, and those blue finishes really go well with the pink frame. It's a bike that certainly stands out in the crowd. I was looking through the catalogues for ordering and I saw the grip shift option, and I almost fell off my seat because I was thinking back to the 90s when I remember grip shift being really sticky and hard, and it's not though. It's beautifully smooth, it clicks into gear, and you can really just make those small micro changes. Even when you're just hanging on, trying to get down the trail, you can make those adjustments. So yeah, I wouldn't go back now, I haven't tried it. The wide range, that 50 tooth cassette, everybody's familiar with the Eagle grip set now, really makes a difference when you're holding an extra 10 kilos of bikepacking kit up those hills.
Something else I have noticed, and it's more something that's missing from an enduro build, is the dropper. You've gone with the rigid seat post. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I get a lot of stick for that, to be fair. Again, I'm not a weenie, but I do like quite a light build. But the other thing is, when you're going bikepacking and you've got a very large saddlebag on the back, it can wear on the dropper posts, and also it's an additional weight. So to be changing the dropper post in and out for the different kinds of trips wasn't really worth it for me. And to be honest, in my riding, I'm pretty happy with the seat post. I can drop it if I need to, if I'm doing the most aggressive stuff. But again, it's one of those modern inventions that's come out and everybody has to have one, but I'm happy to be the exception to the rule.
So most people don't have the luxury of having more than one bike in the stable. So tell us how you've gotten around making this bike do more than one task, be suitable for more than one type of ride through different wheel sets.
The wheel set change makes an enormous difference. We use these 29-inch cross-country wheels. They're quite a strong build of cross-country wheel, PMP Nitro. It's only got a 25mm internal rim, but we use a faster rolling tyre set on those as well. And the single track tyre in the front has still got enough side tread to give you the confidence when you're descending, you're doing something. So I've got a huge bandwidth which now I can operate this bike. So from doing maybe ultra marathon type distances, 60-70k days, going into the Cadmuir trails or some of the more interesting technical stuff down in the Tweed Valley, I definitely opt for the extra grip for that confidence.
So we're hopefully going to try and get a shot of this today, weather permitting, as the weather starts to close in on us as we're going on. So yeah, really excited to see how this handles on the trail. As I do and have ridden steel hardtails, but I haven't ridden Moxie before, and something that's a little bit more, of an interesting build. Really excited to see how this rides.
Yeah, well, it's a pleasure to have you here, and I don't know whether this is snow duro or intro duro, but we're definitely getting all the seasons today.
Brilliant. Well, thanks very much for talking us through it.
Keep forgetting which way to twist the grip shift. Yaldi. Problem being with the grip shift, I'm not used to it. So I'm in far too low a gear right now. I'm not sure what way to twist. Okay, we'll try it in the boardwalk. Oh, yep, that worked. I've run Maguras before, I've got them on Sven. I think these ones are just a little bit wet and cold just now. Ooh, not as sharp as I'd like, but I think that's the conditions rather than the brake. This thing is on rails, oh my days. Ah. Accelerate so fast, so even though I'm braking more than I need to in the corners because I don't want to crash someone else's bike, it just picks up so quickly afterwards. It is a hardtail, and I am feeling more than when I did this on the full sus, but not as much as I would have thought. Yes, it's a trail centre trail, but there's still chunder, there's still braking bumps, and the plus size tyres are doing their job in that front. Again, we have no dropper, but that's not something I'm unused to. The straightaways and stuff, it just takes off. Oh! Oh dear. Oh, they're not working. Oh dear. I think these pads have seen better days. Either that or they really don't like the wet. Oh dear Lord. Oh. So we're in the XC mode now. So we took it to the techiest track. Have a look, try out Keith's thoughts about over-gunning our wheels and rubber and such like. And well, yeah, it is rolling. Again, what we're doing, oh wait, ah! Still getting the hang of the grip shift. Oh dear Lord. Okay, doesn't want to launch in the same way. Oh, this road gap's going to be fun. Ha 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 ha! I believe it's going to be optional. Ah! Woo! Whoosha! Oh! Hey up. What did you buy? Just test driving.
So, the Moxie. That was a very interesting bike. Thanks again for Keith for letting us have a roll of it, especially seeing as we had the two wheel sets available so we could try it, not even in different wheel sizes, but to even see how the bike kind of changed how it handled in those kind of two different guises of very kind of XC and one of a more kind of trail, aggro, more towards what the bike is kind of pitched at being. So let's talk about the plus size first. Now, the plus size thing, that was like a whole other fad. A lot of people were just like, what's this now?
And I have to be honest, I was one of them. I kind of thought that plus size wheels were something that people who weren't that into riding, it was something that just kind of cushioned it and took a lot of the feedback out. And it was something for people who were kind of new to the sport that they would kind of graduate out of. Well, happy to eat those words when it comes to the Moxie. The plus size, it was just on rails. The traction and grip available from the gripper and single track at that size on those wide rims was just flawless. Considering that as a bike I've never ridden before on a trail that I'd only ridden once already that day, and I was 2 seconds off my previous best time set on the full sus. Now I would imagine that with a few more runs, I probably could have gone faster on that trail, but the fact that straight out, never ridden this bike before, it was that close to the time on the bike I've been riding for 3 years. That tells you something about that bike. A lot of the time with kind of like really long, really aggressive angled bikes, you think there's going to be a certain degree level of skill required to get the best out of that bike, but it was a really easy bike to ride straight out the park. And what I was very surprised at, which in thinking about it in hindsight I shouldn't be, was just how well it climbed the plus size tires. The traction it had, it just went, and it just accelerated and got up the speed really quickly in a way that I wasn't expecting such a large tire to do. And I think a lot of it was to do with the size of that contact patch, just grabbing onto stuff and just having the traction to pull you up over things. Then we skipped to the slightly smaller, skinnier XC tires. Narrower rim, full 29er. It wanted to climb on the flats, just amazing. It just spun up to speed and just held its momentum in a way that the plus size didn't. And where you did feel a difference was when those more technical trails. Now I took this down stage 3, the most technical trail on the course, because I thought, let's try Keith's ideas in terms of that we overgun ourselves when it comes to tire size and rubber kind of tread patterns in our tire choices. And you know what? It did its job. It got down that trail well. It didn't feel like it was losing gripper traction anywhere, but it did feel more skitterish, probably because that smaller contact patch was being deflected a little bit more easily. But it didn't lose grip, it didn't lose confidence, and in reality it was the brakes and the pads not really digging the weather and the conditions in the wet that I was feeling like I just didn't have the braking power I was used to with my XTRs, so I was coming into corners and I wasn't able to scrub up speed in a way that I wanted, so the confidence started to pull back a little bit. So again, that was just rider confidence. I was slower than my full sus, and the gap between my first run and the XC tires, putting them up, was bigger than with the plus size in stage 2, but it wasn't a million miles away. It wasn't like night and day. It's a short track, so times are going to be tight anyway, but 4 2-second differences, I reckon with a few more runs, a bit more familiarity with that bike, I'd be matching my times of the full sus in those trails. Again, big shout out to Keith at TerraVenture. Let us know in the comments what hardtails you guys are running, and as always, thanks for watching.